ーロービルボードチャートの拡大？
ええ、まあ今後を見据えた一環ですが、もち復興のめどが立ってからですよ。今回の戦い、俺たちヒーロー以外の活躍が大きすぎた。現職業ヒーローと合わせて英雄もピックアップしていきます。
人気制度をなくす方に傾くと思っていたが。
功罪の罪に目を向ければそりゃそうですが、俺は功を捨てずにアップデートしたいんす。どんな最高にも手には限りがある。より多くを救えるとしたら、それはきっと俺たち職業ヒーローじゃない。
最高のヒーローがたくさんいるような。
なんだこの個性は。こやつはクラブに知られては一族の意向を損なう秘密裏に処分しろ。
そんな、この子には何の罪も。
手をかけられんなら死んだことにして一生人目につかぬを隠せ。おい隠せ。口を閉ざせ。吐息すら外に漏らしてや出れ。
何がいけなかったの？なぜ口を縫ったの？ずっと怖くて悲しいのに。なのにどうしてこの人たちは笑ってるんだろう。なんで僕だけこんなに。
僕大丈夫？すぐヒーローか警察か誰か来るからね。あの後あの子はヒーローに助けてもらえたのか。今でも寝られなくなる時がある。
あの日緑谷出久がもたらしたもの、あの日きっとみんなに届いた。
もう大丈夫だからね。おばあちゃんが来たからね。
その先にはあるはずです。ヒーローが暇な社会。
ひどいよ母ちゃん、泣いてるだろ。これ以上は
無個性のくせにヒーロー気取りかデク。 。
人は生まれながらに平等じゃない。僕らは一人一人形が違って、それゆえに他者を思う。形の違うその身と心を。だからこそ他へ馳せ、好点を探す。
緑谷兄ちゃん。デク先生、午後の実技ってどこに集まっとけばいい？
バス停前、 USJ の行き方も兼ねてるから。
オッケー、みんなに伝えとけ。
これが弱い17歳にして知った社会の現実。あの日確かに聞こえた励ましと祈りの声は今も僕を奮い立たせてくれる。誰かに思いを馳せることがヒーローへの一歩だとしたら、あの日誰もが最高のヒーローだった。僕たちは同じ思いを抱く人たちと強くつながって、違う思いを抱いた人たちに歩み寄って寄り添って。今日というかけがえのない日々を生きる。未来に向かってみんなと生きていく。
Hey guys! 国際協力に置いてかれたくなきゃ本気で取り組め。ヒ
来月のヒーロー本免許試験、全員一発で合格しよう。
頑張ってかっちゃん。
根性見せろバケゴ。そこでやれ。うっせえぞお前ら。
この本さ、ヴィラン連合にいた人が書いたんだってよ。
へえ、今度読んでみっかな。
あ、雪だ。
卒業まであと3ヶ月か。うららかさんは進路変わらず？
うん。デク君も？
うん、変わってないよ。
続きまして卒業証書授与。カランナ受け取れ。おめでとう。君がいなかったら今の世界はなかったさ。
ありがとうございます。でもみんなで繋いだ世界です。
そうだね、その通りさ。それではレフェゼン卒業生インゲニウム AKA 飯田健也。
世界が巨悪に飲み込まれてもそれを乗り越え、今このような素晴らしい卒業式を迎えられているのは、私たち一人一人が手を取り合い、互いを思いやり励まし合い、希望を見失うことなく前に進めたからだと確信しています。この学び屋を離れても私たちはヒーローとは何なのかを忘れずに活動していく所存です。卒業生代表飯田天也。こっからだ、行くぞピーター。
憧れのオールマイトからワン・フォー・オールを譲渡され、ヒーローになることができた。不相応な夢を叶えてもらった。考える前に動いてしまったことで始まった僕の物語は、ワン・フォー・オールの残り火と共に幕を閉じていく。じゃあなんでまだこれを書いてるかって？だってまだ放送は続いているからね。
後ろまで回ったか？諸君もいよいよ受験生だ。来週までに進路希望を提出すること。
ほらヒーローか。当然ナンバーワンの雄英だな。
今熱いのはサポートアイテムだよ。絶対ライトリーラボのメンバーになるんだ。あの大天才初音メイさんが所属するサポートアイテムデザイン事務所。
またまた新たなベイビーが爆誕してしまいますよ。
それより風呂に入りなさい。ここまで匂ってますわよ。
僕は医師になる。吉田龍ドクターみたいに回復不可能な人をも治せるような医師に必ずな。
私は5年前にサイバー王で伝説を作った GL インクに入りたい。プログラミングバリキャリかっこいいな。
何それ、お前もヒーロー志望なのかよ。
見るなよ。
お前の個性はさすがにむずくね。だい
それは分からんでしょ。
ただでさえヴィラン発生率も減少傾向でヒーローも数絞られてきてんだぜ。こっからは真に強えやつだけがヒーローになる時代だっての。
よし、プリント集めるぞ。
みんな変わっちゃった。ガキの頃は口を揃えてオールマイトやエンデバー、ベストジーニスト、デク、大爆殺神ダイナマイト、ショートみたいになりたいって言ってたのに。分かってる。僕だけがガキのままだってことくらい。だから大君1年生頑張れそう？うん。不安になった時はいつもここに来る。
デビュー以降目覚ましい活躍を見せるテンタコル。僻地などで未だ見られる形質差別由来の事件に尽力し、平和的に解決してきたその功績と影響をたたえ、今村平和賞が授与されました。
この賞は8年前放棄した彼らよ。俺は彼らの決意の上に立っているに過ぎないです。
続いてはチームアップニュース。インゲニウム、フロッピー、クリエティ、そしてウラビティが全国の小学校を巡っています。ヴィラン発生率の減少に伴い活動の幅を広げるヒーローたち。その中でもウラビティの打ち出した個性カウンセリング拡張計画は今最も必要不可欠な活動と言われています。ウラビティの意思に賛同して彼女からのチームアップ要請を
おい緑谷、これ見たか？お前の幼なじみまたチャート落とすぞこりゃ。
こんな近くにおんだてめえ、見せ物じゃねえんだ。死にてえのが。すみません。分かったらとっとと失せろ。
かっちゃん先生、かっちゃん矯正しようと励んでましたよね。言葉遣い
ついぞダメだった。轟とはこれでだいぶ水開けられそうだな。連日連夜事件に駆けつける。ぎこちないけど分け隔てないファンさ。最近じゃエンデバーの息子だなんて言われることも少なくなったそうだ。
本当にすごい活躍ですよね、轟くん。森林カムイマウントレディを抜いて一気にトップの東方先輩と並ぶ勢い。モノマくんや骨抜きくんもすごいし、東方先輩もこないだ突き上げが怖えって笑ってましたよ。
寂しいか？
でも昔不破先輩が先生と話してて、その時思ったんです。無個性には戻るけど経験を生かして誰かを励ませるなら、それはとてもかっこいいかもなって。かっこいいですかね今僕。
もう少し生徒に厳しくした方がいいな。大事なことだぞ。この現代でうちに入ってこれるようなやつは将来ヒーローになることが確約されているようなもんだからな。増長しないよう俺たちが厳しくしないといけないんだ。わかるか？
先生結構優しかったけどな。
社会に出てからは A 組のみんなとは休みも合わないし、集まる機会もなかなか作れない。
男性からの支持圧倒的。男レッドライオットの意外なオリジンに迫ります。
みんなの活躍を見るのはとても嬉しい。学生の頃を思い出すとよくここに来る。
大丈夫？
え、デク、緑谷、伊坂、おお、実在してるんだ。おお、マジで？
そっか、受験生か。
時代が急激に変わってて、僕みたいな同級生に比べてめちゃ弱い個性はついていけなくなっちゃって、だからここに来てオールマイトゾーンに聞くんです。僕もあなたたちのようなヒーローになれますかって。
僕もオールマイトのように。
紙の皿みたいなものを投擲する個性か。紙由来ならミネタ君の応用でいけると思うな。皿を重ねることで強度も上がるし、大きさも変わってたよね。それで
怖っけど、何これ、励まされてる？
夢を叶えた後は夢を与えていく番だ。大丈夫だって、君はさっき手を差し伸べようとしたじゃないか。君はヒーローになれるよ。頑張れ少年。寂しくないと言ったら嘘になるけど、こんな風に誰かを励ませるなら、これは僕たちが最高のヒーローになった物語。
遅かったじゃないか少年。
オールマイト？おっしゃってくれたら空港まで迎えに行ったのに。
サプライズプレゼントしたくてね。
タペストリーですか
？8年前私とオール・フォー・ワンの戦いで取れたデータがなんかすごい可能性を広げるものだったそうだ。個性の進化とともに技術もまた進化していく。マルチに個性を使いこなした君でさらなるデータを取りたい。
でもこんな高いもの。
こいつは海外の友と発明少女の協力、そして爆豪少年中心としたかつての A 組が共同出資したものだ。バレてるぜ。まだ体が動いちまうんだろう。肝に銘じておきな。これも君自身が勝ち取った力だ。
みんなといつまでも。
前よりは暇って感じかな。聖戦道路で崖崩れ、交通まひってます。ヒーロー出動お願いします。
来いデク。
ここは命 ちの瞬きの中だ重なったら離れてしまう伝えなくては何をだったっけそれじゃ思い出そう今日僕らで
これはみんなといつまでもいつまでも手を差し伸べ続ける物語。
一度だけでいい本当の本当が痛いよみんなシャボン玉瞬きの中手出せない痛みの生まれた場所そこにいるだろう聞こえてしまった日々我ながら鮮やかなままの脈打つ記憶で作られた始まりの声さあやっと見つけたここまで来たもう触れるよ集めてしまっておいた勇気の全部で君の生きるその前にいるあらゆる種も仕掛けも使い果たした後の諦めを許さない呪いあっても強く長い間握ってた願い事世界をくれた魔法乾かない雨を白昼の夜をずっと連れてきたんだろうそうして出会えた今体は息をする痛みに血をめくらせるその意味を知りたがるようにさあやっと見つけたここまで来たもう触れるよ傷つけたとしても勇気の全部で君と生きるより合う今この答え合わせができる何を取り返したいの一人じゃないぜ僕も生きる君と生きるそのためにいる
Okay, well, talk about a mood spoiler. Apparently OBS the macOS recording just decided to freeze in the middle of the episode. I'll have to fix that and edit and post, but that's stupid. What an episode. What an absolutely incredible episode. I don't even know what to say. Like this story, this conclusion is just, it's just perfect, right? There's something just so perfect about a story that is brave enough to keep going after the finale. Most stories and most shows, the final episode will be like a third of it or a half of it will be like the final fight, right? The big fight, and then we'll have a little bit of closure. But, and maybe for a longer running show, you'll have like a whole epilogue episode. My Hero Academia had 3. And it never dragged its feet, right? It never seemed like it was dragging its feet. It's always moving. It's always trying. It's always doing something, saying something, showing something. It's intentional. And that is braver than I think a lot of us give it credit for. Brave enough to trust that the audience will be there long past the action to see all of this fallout. Because we've really grown up with these people, and this isn't just like this action show. This is a school. It's My Hero Academia. We didn't start watching this knowing about All for One, knowing about this grand villain. We started it with Deku's journey to become a hero and go to school about heroes. So the fact that Horikoshi remembered this and knew that the essence of the story was not in All for One, but in our class 1A, it's an understanding of your story and a faith in your audience that they understand it too, and that they are here for more than the action, that they don't need that they don't need the action to keep watching, to keep reading, that they will sit through you through chapter after chapter of epilogue, of tying up loose ends, because they are invested. My Hero Academia is so much more than its action, than its high octane moments. Those are great punctuations of the different story beats and of different milestones, but it was never really about the fights. It was always about what the fights meant for the people that we cared about. So it's very fitting that the fights end and we still have several episodes to spend time with the people we care about, the characters we've grown to love, and see where they go. God, what is with my throat? I'm sorry. And also, it's not just the characters, right? It's the world. And that's where he comes in. I forget his name, but he's got this quirk that lets him like control shadows and darkness. An evil quirk, a villain's quirk. Cast away by his family and ostracized, ending up destroying the world that hated him, wandering the streets alone. I mean, it's not subtle, right? This is Tenko 2.0. Just different enough that it doesn't seem like fake, but very reminiscent in almost every way. So of course, the same grandma who found Tenko initially and tried to reach out but didn't have the courage to commit to it gets her chance at redemption, and we learn that she's been worried, that she's felt guilty that whole time. And she's decided to change. She's no hero. We don't even have her name, but what she's showing us is that it's not just our characters who are changing society and creating the world that we want to see and making sure that the world Shigaraki destroyed stays gone. This is a group effort. This is everyone's effort. Just as the show is beat it over the head. If you've been watching my reactions, and I've also been beating it over your head with my analyses, that everyone needs to change society. We are all part of it. We all must take responsibility. We all must take the steps to fix it. And this is showing that she is, because we're all people, even if we're nameless extras. We still make decisions, and we still think about them in the future. We regret it. We think, could things have been different? What would have happened? She doesn't even realize that kid is Shigaraki. She said, I still wonder if a hero went to help him, so she doesn't know. But she doesn't need to. She doesn't need to feel guilty like, oh, I created the biggest monster. Just the fact that she left that child is enough to riddle her with guilt. And that guilt is the responsibility that she's accepted. This outstretched hand is her acting on her responsibility, the device of change. We are all part of society, this old lady too, and she's decided to make society better, to not repeat the mistakes of back then. What he taught us that day reached everyone's heart. And he just melts. Obviously, he's not like better. The trauma he endured isn't just gone. His quirk is still terrifying. He's not going to beat the villain allegations anytime soon, but this was an inflection point, right? Sure, it wouldn't have restarted the My Hero Academia story. There's no All for One here to take advantage of this, but who knows what damage he could have done? Who knows how far down he would have fallen if it weren't for this nameless old lady? And even though this doesn't fix everything, this is that first step. This is the inflection point, and a potential catastrophe was averted. Because all he needed, when you're in this dark place, sometimes all you need is just someone to reach out. You just need proof that people care. And he gets that. She gives him that. Kicking right off with the literal first scene of the show. But then continuing it. We're not born equal. Each of us takes shape differently, which leads us to empathize with others. We are different physically and mentally. That's why we are drawn to each other in search of common ground. Wow. All the little comic little drawings. It's super cute. What a great way to circle back to the first narrative line of the series. We are not born equal. We are different. And then to extrapolate that into empathy. That's why we seek empathy. That's why we want to connect with each other. Because we are so different despite being so similar that we want to find common ground. We want to connect and cover the distance, close the distance between each other. Despite our differences, we want to connect. And that is the driving force of empathy. That is a really interesting idea. Because when you think empathy, you think, it's something that shows how close we are, how similar we are. We can empathize. We have shared experiences. But no, empathy is inherently the opposite of that. It is inherently about differences. It's inherently about not relating to the other person. Because empathy is putting yourself in their place, which necessitates you not being in the same place as them. That's really, I've never really thought about it like that before, but it makes sense, doesn't it? Empathy is proof that our differences don't have to divide us. Our empathy is proof that our differences are what drive us to connect despite it all. Empathy is like courage, not the absence of fear, but acting against it, acting despite it. It's not the lack of differences, but it's closing the distance despite it. What a wonderful sentiment. What a lovely sentiment. And then he finishes it. That's the reality I learned when I was a child. That's the reality I learned at the age of 17. And they still inspire me. If thinking about someone is the first steps towards becoming a hero, on that day, everyone was the greatest hero. Thinking about somebody, like what Hawk said, if only people could think about everyone just a little bit more. It's the, what is the book? It's As a Man Thinketh. And it's not that one, obviously. That's not the first one, but that's one of the most well-known ones that drives home the idea and that speaks about the idea that that all actions are born from thoughts. There is no such thing as an action that is not preceded by thought. I mean, scientifically, physiologically, you have to think because your brain chooses actions, even if it's subconscious, even if it's reflexive, that's still a thought. And there's still thoughts that came together to create those reflexes, right? Even if you move without thinking, there are still thoughts that built up the personality that caused you to move. So even if the idea of everyone coming together and becoming the greatest heroes and changing society seems far too daunting, because it does, and if it doesn't, then you might be in the blissfully ignorant category. I just got to say it straight. But even if that sounds too daunting, as it should, every worthwhile journey should feel the same, which is why you always have to take that first step. And in this case, that first step is thinking. Thinking precedes action. Before we can change the world, we need to start thinking about it. We need to start thinking about each other. Because once we start thinking about each other, that is the point where things start to happen. Once we've had those thoughts, then action can begin. Now, don't use that as an excuse to not take action, right? It's like, I would change the world, but I'm busy thinking. No. Think. Really think. And think about the action you can take for the sake of taking action. Not for the sake of feeling like you're doing something, but for the sake of changing the world. I'm not asking you who works at Starbucks to change the world. I'm not asking me who watches anime and tutors at an elementary school to change the world. But I'm asking all of us to do what we can to make the world a better place, to be the change we want to see. That's why I started this channel. That's why I don't have episode screenshots in my thumbnails. Why every reaction face is from the episode. That's why I don't shout and scream and do the sensationalism, because I'm anti-sensationalist. I decided to be the change I want to see. I don't want to spoil people with my thumbnails. I don't want to look fake with reaction faces that aren't from the episode, because I want to be the change I want to see. I want this to be real, and I want this to be worthwhile. And the same thing goes with society. Change the world. Literally one step at a time, one person at a time. It's so cute. Oh, it's so cute. And they're mourning him. But that's just what the story is, right? And Spinner's book, yeah. Compress reading it. But like, it is, isn't it? It's so... It feels so simple. And I think for a lot of us, we tend to dismiss things because they seem too simple. We're a cynical society. And rightly so, I would say, in a lot of ways. I think just like how the natural state of humans is to be unhappy, because unhappiness is a sign to make things better, it's much easier to be cynical than optimistic, or to be cynical than non-cynical, because there's so much to be cynical about. Fighting against cynicism is a ridiculously hard uphill battle, but it is so worth it because you see it in the show so many different times. And if you've experienced enough in life, then I'm sure you can attest to this. It really does just take one person. Back to that old lady. When she came and helped that kid, you saw what happened, right? Okay, it's before the opening. When she came and helped him, the heroes came to help, they came to the rescue, but the civilians had it handled. Everyone was thinking the same thing, but nobody wanted to do it. Everyone wanted to be the grandma with Tenko. I want to help, but what can I do? But as soon as one person moves, everyone moves to action because they realize several things. One, I'm not the only one who wants to help. Two, me helping won't be meaningless. Someone else will do it. And three, I won't be looked at weird. Right? Those are three things that really shouldn't affect us as much as it does, but it does. And it's nice to say like, oh, this shouldn't affect me. But saying that and concluding, therefore it doesn't, is running away from the truth. The truth is, it's important to accept ways that your brain thinks, even if you don't like how it does and you don't think it should do that. It's important to be honest with yourself, to be straightforward with yourself, and to recognize the parts of you that are less desirable, but very, very human. Because just like taking action, once you start recognizing that part of yourself, then, and you say it aloud, other people realize that they're not the only ones who think these things. I guarantee you, whoever you are, whatever life you've led, whatever horrible thoughts pop up in your head sometimes that you try to push down, whatever horrible parts of your personality you try to pretend you don't have, I guarantee you, with, I don't say this lightly, 100% certainty, there are people in your life who feel just as guilty for having these thoughts that they think they shouldn't have, for having this part of their personality they shouldn't have. And no one realizes it because no one says it out loud, because obviously they don't want to have it, so they ignore it. They put a lid on it, pretending they can't see it. As maggots start to grow, the insides fester. This is not to say to be vulnerable and to be open to attack. You shouldn't say everything that's on your mind. You shouldn't proudly proclaim all the horrible parts of your personality that you're not a fan of, but recognizing them and even speaking up about them, being honest, is a silent, it's a silent assent that to others, permission to others that they can do the same. Because we all want to be ourselves. We all want to be honest. We all want to express ourselves. And we don't want to lock away that part of ourselves, even if we don't like it. But we're afraid of judgment. So if you take that first step, if you reach your hand out, if you expose a part of yourself you maybe not happy with, you're telling everyone around you that it's okay for them to do the same because I'm doing it. Leading by example, being the change you want to see. And I think you'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised that people won't judge you as much as you're afraid they will. Because everyone's afraid of judgment. Everyone's afraid of the same judgment. It's the same thing with like wearing clothes or worrying about perception, like worrying about how you talk and worrying about how you look to other people. It's really not something you need to worry about because it's something that everybody does. Everyone is thinking about themselves and how they look to other people, which is the secret to, at the very least, minimizing your own social anxiety. No one's looking at you quite as much as they're looking at themselves and being afraid that other people are looking at them. We may have so many differences, but those like fundamental wirings in our brain, that is very human. That is part of the human condition. And once you realize that, it becomes so much easier to do what you want to do and to say what you want to say and not worry about judgment, because you realize everyone is worrying about judgment just like you. Anyways, this is My Hero Academia, and I'm skipping through this because there's not too much to talk about. This is incredible. The Quirk Counseling Expansion Project by Gravity. Toga, right? Having more counseling about Quirk, not Quirk counseling in the way that Toga had it, but something to actually help you resonate with your quirk, with what makes you unique, and maybe even give you a community if your family doesn't like it. They think it's a curse. Reaching out to those kids, right? Even if it's not on the street, it's through programs. And that's such a big way to change the world. It's starting organizations, nonprofits, starting these initiatives that will reach more people than you ever could on your own. It's such a beautiful way to live. And CEOs and founders of like these startups, they have my utmost respect. They are my heroes more than almost anyone else in the world. They are incredible what they've done, what they've chosen to devote their lives to. And I have so much respect for them, and I think we all should, because they've done so much good for the world that it's hard to put into words. Todoroki with the same like fire thing that his dad has, but with the blue flame. Great. Took a scared for everyone catching up to him. Do you think I'm cool? You should be stricter with students. Notice he doesn't say no. Anyone who gets accepted to school is pretty much guaranteed to be a hero in the future. Yeah. Oh, she's adorable. And yeah. This is a great little just thing that's passing by, just little flavor text. Look at Hagakure. She is gorgeous as an adult. What in the world? It's unbelievable. Tokoyami's gorgeous too, don't get me wrong. Hagakure is something else though. Look at that. All of them like in a circle, having each other's backs. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. And this is just, I mean, his body moved without thinking. And he tripped and fell. Like, if he didn't do anything, nothing would have happened. Oh, so he shouldn't have done anything. All he did was hurt himself. Yes and no, right? There's two sides to this. One, obviously, moving without thinking is incredible. It's what you want. It's the part of you that you can't learn, that is like instilled in you. Not saying that if you don't have it, like you'll never have it. It's something that can be developed still. But it's not a skill you can learn necessarily. It's something we all innately have in us to different degrees, and that we can develop, but we cannot learn it. That's amazing. But the other side of it is also, you can't just do that, right? Reality doesn't work that way. If you're depositing a check and a bank robbery happens, your body moved without thinking, you ran at the robber, congratulations, you got shot. But my body moved without thinking, I was just doing what MHA told me. No. Never take these platitudes out of context. Never take these themes out of context. And also remember that what this scene is subtly implying, it takes more than action. Action is the critical first step, but it's not enough. you also need to be able to do it. You need the skill, you need the ability. Which is why I personally like going to the gym. I like working out, not because I want to improve my body, even though I do, not because I want to look good, even though I do, but because I want to be capable. Because intent, good intent, and not well wishes, but the desire to do good is only as valuable as your capability to enact it. That's why Deku's not a hero anymore, right? He's a teacher because he doesn't have one for all. He doesn't have the ability to act on it. But not in that way, at least. He has the ability to teach others and to help develop others so they can do it. And here you see it's not enough. He falls on his face. It's just a net bad. It's just a net negative. Okay, maybe not entirely because it allows him to meet his hero, but it doesn't do any good. And it shows you that you do need capability. So never believe that you are ready and able to change the world just because you want to. Always think about how you can make yourself capable. Always think about how you can mold yourself into a suitable vessel to be the change you want to see. All Might with everyone around him all throwing their fist in the air is incredible. And then this is phenomenal. This was phenomenal. I got All Might jump scared. I wasn't ready for this. It's the perfect ending. He's walking up to his school, like all throughout all the seasons, we've been like zooming out and like showing this thing. And now we have him just walking up to it. The title appears. He says this can be the story where we all became the greatest hero, Finn. And it's over. But then a hand just slowly comes up. You're like, what the heck? And then just bam, he smashes it. That's so awesome. I'm pretty sure in the manga they did something similar. Kind of like how in MVA, if you're an anime only, you might not know this, but they did a thing where they had like the title and then Shigaraki walks by and like dissolves it and that's when My Villain Academia starts. So I'm pretty sure they did something similar to this with the manga, but seeing it in animated form is just something else. It's so funny. It's so great. And it's so perfect too, because it's so fitting given what the scene is, right? If it were just he's just talking with him or he's just telling him about like Melissa or something, then it'd be kind of pointless to be a shock for a shock. But this is like, this isn't just a twist for the audience, it's for Deku. It's a point where his life suddenly changes because sure enough, the Iron Might suit was a prototype for this. For Deku to go back out there and have the capability to move without thinking. Oh my god, Mineta's shit-eating grin. That's so bad. Jiro looks about the same. Very black and white, though. I kind of like her red, though. It's a little sad, but it doesn't look bad on her. A little Froppy poking her head out. Oh my god, Shinso absolutely looks the best, though, I think, out of everyone here. It's close with a couple people, but Shinso looks amazing. But right, you do need action. You do need capability to enact on what you want. And now he has that, so he can do it. Now, to get to the controversy. It would be disingenuous of me not to mention this because this is one thing I am not flip-floppy, but I'm still kind of battling with myself over whether I like this or not. I think it's a beautiful, happy ending where he gets the powers and he's able to keep going and he's able to be a hero without a quirk. I think it's lovely. I think it's great. way to do it. And it's great because we saw Iron Might's suit, and this is like almost a decade later, so it makes sense that they'd be able to do this. It'd be weird if they couldn't. From a storyteller perspective, as a storyteller, I'm mixed on it though. As somebody who's wanted to be an educator for probably 12 years now, I really love the idea of One for All really just being that dream that he got to live. And afterwards, he had that great experience. And then after that, he became a teacher and he's able to pass it on to future generations. I think that's beautiful. I think it's it's bittersweet, but it's poetic. This is very poetic on its own too, but I'm not entirely sold on this ending yet. Ever since I first read it, I think I would have preferred it. Perhaps I would have preferred it if All Might offered it to him and then he declined it. And hear me out. I think there would have been something to it if everyone put if All Might put this together for him to try to get him back into the field, and Deku decides, but I don't need to go out there to be a hero. I can be a hero in the classroom. I can be a hero just training other heroes from my desk. And it would have also been a nice callback to that rooftop where he said, there are plenty of other things you can do without being a hero, that there are plenty of other great professions you can do to better the world. And he says without being a hero, but this way Deku could refer back to that and say, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do hero work, but I'm going to be a hero anyways. I'm going to be a hero to my students. And Horikoshi obviously isn't a big fan of the bittersweet notes, right? I mean, none of the students died. Pretty much none of the good guys died, especially in the final arc, which is kind of crazy. Is a criticism in its own right. Valid. But it just shows that Horikoshi is very optimistic, right? He's not afraid to shy away from the darker parts of the story. Bakugo did die, but he's not here for the bittersweet, like, really, like, soul-piercing, JJK, oh, this is really good, but I hate it. Horikoshi's not really about that, and that's fine. You don't need to be. I think we shoot ourselves in the foot by denouncing stories and storytellers for not being gritty, for not willing to kill people off, for not willing to go into that bittersweet field. Not everyone needs to do that. Not all great stories need to do that. I just happen to enjoy doing it. I love bittersweet. It's my favorite taste. It's my favorite flavor. I'm horrible. You'll never read a story of mine and you won't feel at least a little bittersweet. That's just how I go, though. So I would have liked that. I would have liked him to stay being a teacher. I mean, he still certainly is a teacher, just like all the other teachers at UA. They're teachers and heroes, but I don't know. I guess I kind of wish he kept that as a dream. Not kept it as a dream, but a memory. When he was soaring through the sky, saving the world. A memory that incites action within him to teach others and have them create their own memories, live their own stories, their own journeys, their own adventures. I think that would have been beautiful. But that's just me. That's my personal preference, how I would have ended it. I'm not usually one to think of endings like that. I think this is probably one of the only stories I've ever read where, like, I would have had a different ending, I think. And I really think about that. But that's just because how much I love this and how open-ended, how many different ways there are to write a story like My Hero Academia. That's why, as my little brother does, fan fiction in My Hero Academia is like in another realm of existence from most other fan fictions. It's because the story is so uniquely qualified to be interpreted and remixed by other minds, other visions. And it's so great. And it's one of the best parts about it. So I guess that's my own fan fiction. I don't think I'd write it. I don't write fan fiction, but I just wanted to share it here, and I thought it would be fair. I thought this would be the perfect time to do it. Now we're at the series end. So, yeah, I guess let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about my ending. Do you like it? Do you like this one better? You probably like this one better because this one's animated, and because Horikoshi's probably a better writer than me, at least for now. I'll catch up soon enough, but let me know what you think about the episode, about my thoughts. If there's something you agree or disagree with, something you want to bring to my attention, or something you just want to mention, or just want to say that My Hero Academia is amazing, please do leave it in the comments. I would love to read it. I'd love to respond to them. I respond to every single comment, and I am both excited and I am not looking forward to the day, if it should ever come, that I have more comments than I can respond to. I think there's something beautiful about being a small creator in which I can really interact with every single person. So leave a comment. I will respond to it. And do like and subscribe. It helps you out. It helps me out. It helps everyone out. And it gives more people access to this community of watching anime, not to escape from reality, but to supplement it. I love it. I think it's so valuable. So do all that good stuff. Leave your comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what I can do better if you don't like it. I'm always looking to improve. After this, I'll still be watching JJK season 2, getting ready for season 3. I think I might make Saturdays Vigilantes, just so I can keep the MHA train going. That might be what I do. We'll see. Perhaps I'll watch the movies and then I'll do Vigilantes, just so I keep saying the story and then I shift out of the story. I might do that. Let me know what you think. Do you want to? I've seen the first and fourth movie. I haven't seen the second and third. I have seen some spoilers, obviously, because they've been out for a while. But I don't really know too much about the movies, so it'll be pretty brand new, pretty raw reaction. So let me know if you want to see Vigilantes first, if you want to see the movies first. If you want to see Vigilantes because you want me to react to season 2 as it comes out, that won't change anything because I'll be watching it weekly. And watching the movies will obviously just be 2 weeks, so it'll barely push it out. So it's really just up to your own preference. Let me know what you want to watch, what you want me to watch first. I'm really curious to hear it. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here on this journey, for hearing my thoughts, and for sharing yours, hopefully. This has been so special. I can't believe it's over. And I was right when I said before the episode started that it probably won't sink in for a while, and it certainly hasn't. I feel emotional, but it still feels like it's going to keep going, because it kind of is, right? We're going to be watching Vigilantes. We're going to watch the movies. It's not the end. I'm definitely not going to break out crying randomly on a Tuesday 2 months from now. Certainly not. Certainly not. Whatever. I'm just rambling now. I love this show. I hope you do too. And I guess there won't be a next one, but until whenever I see you next, whatever series I'm watching, they watch next, whether it's JJK or Vigilantes of the movies, or maybe Freerin, which I plan to start soon. Whatever I see you next in. And until then, have a lovely rest of your day.